weather looks great again today, although there's a bit of a ruckus around the area apparently. I thought I'd check it out later. And with that in mind, what did I read today? How about this first one? As you know, in a lot of places when it comes to drone restrictions around sporting events, the radius is so huge where it seems so over the top. Well, apparently I guess there's discussions where hopefully this will change because all drones aren't, let's just say, a huge manned aircraft. I guess that's kind of the argument. This one says, should it be illegal to fly an RC plane within 3 miles of a sports game? If you live near a sports stadium and own a remote control toy, you might have committed a federal crime without even realizing it. After 9/11, the Federal Aviation Administration banned all flights below 3,000 feet within 3 nautical miles of certain sport games. Since then, Congress has made the rule permanent and the FAA expanded the restriction to all unmanned aerial systems, including drones and model planes. That's kind of interesting how they specifically mentioned, for example, where I guess it was a temporary measure before, but then afterwards they just decided to make it permanent. That's often one of the arguments that people say where, hey, you think it's just this and that right now, it's temporary. Well, once they get, like, let's just say, I don't know, that power or that restriction, it'll just keep going and going, huh? And I guess as evident, that's kind of what happened. It says many hobbyists have run afoul of the rule without realizing it, and some have caught serious federal charges. Now, the Drone Advisory Council, an industry association, is pushing the FAA to nix the restriction. In a paper published last week, the council urged the FAA to exempt unmanned aircraft from the 3 nautical mile no-fly zone. Saying here, the huge radius makes sense if you're concerned about airspace security from a traditional airliner crashing into the stadium, but not for a drone, the paper says. Instead, the council is calling for a permanent ban on drone flights directly over stadium property. That would kind of make more sense overall anyways. And it says, as it stands, temporary no-fly zones around stadiums put 125,000 square miles of airspace out of commission for drone pilots every year, according to the Drone Advisory Council, and it's often prime airspace in the middle of cities. Look at the stadium airspace in San Francisco, for example, and they show you these diagrams and so forth, I guess on how big the radius is. It goes on to say, unlike in controlled airspace, there is no way for remote pilots to get automated FAA approval to fly through stadium no-fly zones. Making chunks of major cities off limits to drones could hinder the development of industries like drone delivery, the Drone Advisory Council paper warns. Yeah, it makes me wonder, are they saying this more because they want commercial operations to run, or, for example, they just want everyone to be able to use it like recreational flyers and stuff like that? Highly unlikely anyways, just based on everything I've read when it came to people lobbying, I guess, for rules and all that. And they talk about various examples of people who have, I guess, gotten in trouble for flying their drones around sporting events. I know there was the one that they mentioned where a guy literally did, I guess, fly over a game and all that. But this is kind of interesting where this one they talked about how someone could just be filming something with their drone completely unrelated to the sporting event, but because the radius is so huge, unfortunately they're, quote, breaking the law. It says in 2022, Travis Lenhoff ran afoul of the law for taking an aerial selfie with his drone at a restaurant next to the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati on opening day, saying, quote, I was surprised when I was initially approached by the sheriff's office and then really caught off guard when I was questioned by an FBI agent. So that kind of changed the tone of things. Lenhoff told a local news station he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to a year of probation. To be clear, drones can become a real menace to sports games. A 2022 baseball game in Los Angeles and a 2024 football game in Baltimore were both interrupted when someone buzzed the stadium with a drone. I still remember that other one actually where someone crashed a GoPro Karma and no one really reacted to it like crazy. You had the, for example, commentators just saying how stupid it was for the guy to fly it, yeah, but overall, like, people were just like, okay, some idiot doing this versus like it was a bomb or something like that. But yeah, great examples, I thought anyways, on how the radius is just ridiculous for people flying, let's just say when a sporting event is occurring, even if they have absolutely nothing to do like with that area. And then I was reading a lot of stories about this, which is kind of interesting. I've seen this before in terms of a news bit where there were apparently students that were going to food banks here and creating videos and I guess bragging about it on how to save money, like go to the food banks or whatever and get free food. And because of that, they've been getting backlash. And this one says, international students' video on getting free food in Canada unleashes anger and abuse. A university student in Ontario is still reeling after a video he posted to social media landed him in the middle of a firestorm of anger, hatred, and abuse. He told the regional Waterloo Record last week that he has received countless death threats, one saying it will be very easy to find you in person. Another told him to please die, we don't need any more stupid people like you. The fracas began not long after Mahal Prajapati, an international student from India, posted a video on Instagram detailing how he makes use of a food bank while at school, saying, quote, "This is how I save hundreds of bucks every month in food and groceries." He begins wearing a Wilfrid Laurier hoodie from the Waterloo-based university. He also knows this is for everyone, all the students here. Most of the universities and colleges make food banks which are run by trusts, churches, or non-profit organizations. So you can imagine, like, this isn't the purpose of it, for people to get free food just to save money. And I believe one of the arguments for this before was if you're coming as an international student, apparently you're supposed to be able to, I guess, prove that you can self-sustain yourself. And you can imagine when people are really mad, they want to try to find ways to, I guess, make life really bad for the person. And apparently people found out he worked for a bank at first, saying here, he was a data scientist for TD Canada, and then people were speculating he made $98,000 per year or something like that on average, but in reality it turned out he was only an intern and all that, but people still, I guess, reported him to the company and so forth. Like it says here, ultimately, but it soon emerged that he had only worked there as an intern. Last fall, a 17-week contract that ended in December and didn't pay $98,000 a year. The website Money Control also reported that he is on a student visa and can't even work full-time in Canada. So it's one of those things where I guess it is wrong in general to abuse something like that, but at the same time, do you think this person deserves this type of reaction and so forth? What would you think in this situation? And speaking of students, apparently in various parts of the world, students in universities and so forth are holding protests over that war in Gaza, and apparently right here in UBC there's a protest happening too, and people are planning to, I don't know, occupy it for a while. So since I'm around, I thought I'd check it out and you guys can see what it's like.
Is a crime. We will not stop, we will not rest. The close, divest. We will not stop, we will not rest. End the occupation now. Stop the killing now. Stop this genocide. End the occupation now. End the killing now. Thank you.
Gaza, don't you cry! Palestine will never die! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea!
See you guys later.